Hi, my name is Emma Sadler and I've just been speaking at the MUA conference, and I've been speaking about social media and the law. So I think what we're realizing hard and fast in society at the moment is that everybody who has a smartphone, everybody who uses the internet needs to have a bit of a crash course when it comes to what the laws are on social media. So we've been talking about what the legal consequences are, what the disciplinary consequences are, how to look after your reputation online, how to treat yourself like the celebrity that you've become, because we've all become celebrities in the digital age, and our friends and our families and our colleagues and sometimes the general public have become the paparazzi. And we paparazzi ourselves and we paparazzi each other. So in simple terms, when it comes to the law, as soon as content has been seen by one other person, as soon as what I'm saying into my phone has been seen by just one other person, then in the eyes of the law, we treat that content as if you had published it on the front page of the newspaper. Now, what that means is there's absolutely no difference in the laws that apply to what I say on a WhatsApp group to 5 people, what I say on Facebook to 500 people, what I say on Twitter to 50,000 people, or what I write on the front page of the biggest selling newspaper in the country. As soon as one other person's seen the content, then we treat that content as published. So then we've got to start thinking about things like defamation law, privacy law, data protection, criminuria, which is when you seriously infringe somebody's dignity. We've got to start thinking about hate speech. We've got to start thinking about sexual offences, particularly when it comes to children, underage sexting, for example. So we've been talking about what those laws are, and I really highly advise that everybody does a quick read up about what you can say and what you can't say. But I think the best rule that I've come up with so far in my career is what I call the Billboard test. And it's simply to say to you, if you wouldn't be prepared to put what you're about to put in digital format, whether it's your phone, somebody else's phone, a photograph, a video, a private message, which can be screenshot, if you wouldn't put that content on a huge billboard next to a huge photograph of your face, your name, the name of the company you work for, and whatever it is you're about to say, if you wouldn't put it on that billboard, do not let it exist in digital format, because the laws are the same, the disciplinary consequences are the same, and the impact to your reputation is also the same. When we're talking about the law, we're also talking about not just what you're posting, but also you've got to be careful about what content you're tagged in, what content you're liking, what content you're sharing, what content you're forwarding, and which WhatsApp groups you're on. Because as much as we say in a fairly flippant way on social media that these people are same WhatsApp group, it's actually becoming a legal principle. Because if you're on a WhatsApp group and there's something dodgy going on that group, you have the ability to say, hey guys, this isn't cool. This is not something I'm happy with, not in my name, or you can leave the group. And my reading of a few recent judgments in South Africa is that unless you do that, then you can be held responsible for that content as well. We also talked about the business of social media, how these companies give you these incredible services for free, and the quid pro quo of that is you agree to whichever ridiculous terms apply to you on any given day. You know, we've got to appreciate that when we get something for free on the internet, then we are the product. These companies don't owe us anything. They give us this cool service for free, and we have to agree to their terms. And if you don't like what they're doing with your content, there's no one with a gun to your head saying you have to be on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or WhatsApp. So we need to educate ourselves about the business of social media, how these guys are making money, and let me tell you, they're making a lot of it. Also talking about things like addiction, we're talking about things like you can't be anonymous on social media. Don't think you can just say I was joking or I've been hacked if you mess up. Really trying to instill in people how to be a responsible social media user. From an employment law point of view, there are 2 big categories of people messing up. The first is if you bring your company into disrepute, you can be disciplined up to dismissal. So that includes not just what you're up to at work, during work hours, on work premises, but also what you're up to on a Saturday night. If somebody films it and puts it on YouTube and says, look at this ex-company employee, you can be disciplined if that makes it look bad that the company is prepared to be associated with you. The other big category of people messing up is where you bite the hand that feeds you, where you go home and you talk about how much you hate your boss and how much you hate your colleagues and how incompetent they are. In South African law, you owe a duty of good faith to your company. So we need to really be thinking about the best interests of the company at all times. We live in a capitalist world and, you know, just don't bite the hand that feeds you.